Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations. I am super stoked. So if you know who Yvonne Preston is, she's this amazing woman over in England who does tutorials, makes gorgeous journals. I've followed her since the beginning, my very first journey into junk journals. I followed her. She is incredible. And so she actually reached out to me and asked me to do a journal exchange with her. So this is my journal for Yvonne. When I get hers, I will definitely post the unveiling of what she sends to me, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. So let me tell you about this journal that I'm going to send to Yvonne. I started out with this linen fabric. It's over a type of cardstock. I'll show you that in a second. But this is that gorgeous, really vintagey, older looking linen that I just adore. I've done another journal with this for the cover. And then because backs of books should be neither blank nor boring, I added some lace and a little piece of Tim Holtz wallpaper. This is the same Tim Holtz wallpaper that I've used on the front. So on the front here, you'll see that I have, this part I did separately. Yvonne calls these toppers. So I did this separately and I stitched around the whole piece of the wallpaper and then stitched some muslin to it. Added a Tim Holtz book plate. These flowers are actually from this Tim Holtz wallpaper. I've added some lace and some seam binding and then just tied that up really cute. I love that. Down here I have a little tag. I'll bring this up so you can see it. This is just a little tag that I made out of this same wallpaper and added a little key and then put it on a bulb pin. I wasn't sure if this little tag was too long, so I actually put it on Instagram and asked people, do you think it's too long? Majority of the people liked it longer, so I left it, but if Yvonne decides it's too long and wants to cut it off and make it shorter, she's more than welcome to. I definitely have the feeling that once my journals leave my house and they become someone else's, you can do whatever you want to it. And so if, like, I left all the threads, if that bothers someone, cut them off. You don't have to leave those threads. I just happen to be a thread person. I love to have them. My husband, if he sees a thread anywhere, immediately cuts it off. He calls them Irish pennants. I have no idea why. If you know the story behind Irish pennants, then tell me. Post it below. So anyway, what I glued this fabric down to, and you can see I actually stitched a little leaf pattern onto this. It's really hard to see because I actually used, unfortunately, a thread that I didn't realize is pretty close to this same color. It would have stood out better if I had done something else. But this is actually the cover of the Wallflower, Tim Holtz Wallflower. So I just used this and I cut this middle part out and used that for the cover. I just thought this was so pretty. And I thought that's really junk journaling. That's what it's all about, is using things you have. And then I used some papers from the paper pack Theodosia Square, which has gorgeous Victorian papers in it. I love these pages. So I wanted something that was muted and a little bit more just Victorian, old, grungy, country. I'm very country. I love country stuff. So I've done that. So this is some of that Theodosia Square that I coffee dyed and used that as well. So I love that it's now the same color on the other side because the Theodosia Square is blank on one side and printed on the other. So now these are the same color. This is a pocket that I made out of some leftover navy and roses from Dot's Inspiration Studio, and then I've thrown some things in here. So I've received a lot of ephemera over time from people who've sent me amazing happy mail. Unfortunately, I don't remember who all sent me what. So some of this I am just passing it along because I thought it was really pretty and went gorgeous in here. This is a tag that I had, so I have that, and then this is again from Dot's Inspiration Studio, and that's from their Botanics, their Grungy Botanics. And I love these for just great little cards. I love the watch. And then this is mushrooms. These are, I think, from, I'll probably have to double check this, but I think these are from the Old Design Shop. Julie does great digitals. I love her stuff as well. Of course, this is one of my favorite pages from my Edith Holden books. I actually have two. I have one that's a hardbound, so the pages are bigger, and I have a smaller one that's a paperback. I highly recommend that if you love them, get the two different sizes. I find that some fit better into certain books than others. Now this was an attempt, embossing is one of my latest things, and I don't know if you can see that. I attempted to emboss this with gold, and it sort of worked, but not really. But I left it in anyway. And then I have some of these bead dangles, and so I made this one, and it has just another key on the end of it and just these gorgeous, gorgeous beads that I thought went really well with this whole thing. And then me and my flips, of course, I had to have some flips in here. So I'm not sure, I want to say, oh, I'm not going to call anybody out because then I'll get it wrong and embarrass someone. And I love this. Look at these fairies, the Forget-Me-Not Fairy. These are gorgeous. And another card, I love doing the embossing. So there's 3 tags in here that are all embossed. And then this is just held with a paper clip so the whole thing can open out and give you a little bit more journaling space. I tried to leave lots of journaling space in this. I feel like a journal should be written in, not just pretty to look at. This is some genuine French, old antique French music that I got from Monahan's Papers. Love her stuff. I'll put her link below as well. And then I just did some stenciling. Again, the Theodosia Square. This I left open. This technically could be a tuck spot. And then this was using some book pages. And look at this. My sewing machine doesn't have a lot of decorative stitching, but this is kind of a cross stitch. And I felt that that went really well with this book page that I did. And again, some postcards. I actually think this is Old Design Shop as well. This is a tag, and again, a little bit more paper for writing on, again from the Dots Inspiration Studio. And that is a little bit open in the back so you can slide things in. And then that is just stamped. So that, I love that stamp and put those stamps in there. Again, more of the Theodosia Square and another altered paper clip. And this one has a little thing on it that says Believe, a little charm. So some of these I did shorter and some of these I did longer. So that one only has 3 beads on it. And again, another flip. And I actually am not sure what this is, but somebody printed that out and sent that to me. And I know I printed that out. And this is some genuine vintage ephemera. And I either got that someone sent it to me, but I just love the color, or it's from Paper Harbor Co., which is short for company. This is some genuine vintage ledger paper and some more French papers, some antique papers. I love using those in my books, so I would rather use those than digitals, but I have been known to use digitals as well. And then again, some more stenciling. And again, and this is the center, so I just tied this in a bow. And I thought that was a really cute idea. I love doing that. So you have your ledger paper again. This was another attempt at doing the embossing. It didn't really turn out well, but I liked how it looked, so I left it in there. This is one of the little circle pockets from Dots Inspiration Studio. So I've tucked a little card in there. And then again, this is from the botanical Grungy Botanicals from Dots Inspiration Studio, and another one of my embossed tags. So that turned out really pretty. I love the pinks and the browns together. So I inked it actually not with embossing ink, but I used actual distress ink for that. And that worked really well. And again, some lace. And I try not to put the same laces on everything, but you'll see that there's a lot of lace in here. Stenciling again. Another tuck spot. And I'll just take this off and show you. It's a flip, so it flips open. So this actually isn't a pocket. And when I journal, I do tend to write all the way out into those. A little piece of vellum with a clock, a little envelope. I love this cottage. Isn't that beautiful? It says Rosewood Cottage. And this is an old print of a postcard. And Rosewood Cottage, that may be a digital kit that I have as well. I'm not sure whether I printed that out or it was sent to me either. So let me put this back in here so I know where everything goes. I know some people don't bother to put things back, but I like to do that, so I keep everything together. Isn't that gorgeous? And butterflies, I love butterflies. So what I did, when I folded this paper is so old it started to split, so I reinforced it with some Tim Holtz washi tape. I love the look though. I just think that is so pretty. And then this is actually a real library pocket. So I'm not sure, I want to say our librarian, somebody left it in our teacher's lounge, like half of a box. So I have a bunch of these library cards and this I decorated a while ago. This is actually a real old card. And then again, some more of these flashcards. I love those. This I know I printed out myself. So I think again, this is from that Rosewood Cottage. So I can't remember exactly who made this digital kit, so I'll look that up when I'm done. And then another, this one's gold embossed with the roses on it. I think that one turned out really lovely. So I'm just going to tuck these back behind here again. Get those all in there. And then some more lace. And like I said, lots of blank pages, that Edith Holden page, some roses here. So it's easy to write over top of it. And so yeah, I love that. And my last tuck spot, again, dog, isn't he cute? And a postcard and some more writing paper again. This is again from the Dots Inspiration Studio. And that just all tucks back in there. And we come to the end, and I didn't put any pockets in the front or the back. This was already pretty full, so I didn't put any pockets on the front or the back, but I did put my little Country Morning Creations sticker on the back so she knows who made this, unlike me, who forgets who gave me what. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope Yvonne enjoys getting hers, and I cannot wait to get hers. I just, like I said, I'm in awe. I'm starstruck that Yvonne asked to do a swap with me. I just was out of my mind excited. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at this journal that I made, as well as I hope I've inspired you to be creative today.